To be a great leader, there's a lot of skills you're going to have and develop over your entire career. That's including having some emotional intelligence, being a great communicator, and being one of those people who has a vision, and then being able to communicate that vision to other people to get them moving. But I think one of those skills that every leader is going to have and constantly use every day is the ability to problem solve. So today, I'm going to go over some steps to problem solving that hopefully you can use to help improve your problem solving skills. So let's get at it. Hey, I'm Rob Johnson and welcome to the Legacy Gentleman channel. As I mentioned a bit earlier, I'm going to be talking about problem solving. And look, the first step to problem solving is defining the real problem. And look, this is a biggie. You have to ensure that you're solving the right problem. And a lot of people get this wrong. We have this preconceived notion about what the problem is, and then we jump right into the whole process of solving it. But look, we need to take a step back and even follow the example of the Toyota company. See, the Toyota company was very serious about their ability to solve problems. And what they did was they invested a lot of time into understanding the problem. And one of the ways you get to what the real problem is, in my opinion, is to go through the 5 whys. See, the 5 whys will help you really determine what the problem is. I can think about, like, if you're someone who's like, oh, they're overweight, and you're like, yeah, it's because they don't exercise or they eat a lot of junk. But if you get down to the 5 whys, you'll find out this person has depression. This person has depression because of some childhood trauma that they need to work through. Then they work through that trauma, and then they get rid of their depression. Then they stop eating so much. Then they feel up to go and exercise, and then they lose weight. And I think that that's kind of the 5 why method. And the next thing you have to do is to really solve the root cause of the problem. Look, you don't want to treat the symptoms. You want to solve the cause of the problem. And when it comes to the problem solving techniques, there are numerous ways to actually get to the root cause, including cause mapping or a fishbone diagram or a bunch of other ways. But for me, I think the easiest and the most effective way is to use that 5 why method like I talked about earlier. That's going to get you to the real reason why and get down to the root cause. Like I said, it'll help you define the problem, and if you ask hard enough questions and give legitimate answers, it'll help you get to the root cause of the problem. Is use a hypothesis. And look, this is just like what happened in those TV shows like CSI, right? You come up with what is your best guess based on your available information. You're doing this at the beginning, and you are understanding that this is still just an initial hypothesis. You still want to avoid that trap that you're having a preconceived idea, but you got to have some idea to move in some direction. And then what you do is you test that initial hypothesis by digging into some methods that should help relieve it. And then the most important thing is to take them blinders off and adjust whatever your hypothesis is based on the facts that are coming up. Because you want this whole thing to be driven by facts, not by feelings, not by opinions, and even past that, not about this preconceived results that you think will make yourself, your boss, or whoever you think you need to answer to happy, but something that's going to legitimately solve the problem, even if it's uncomfortable or kills a sacred cow for somebody. Which takes you to step number 4, which is to get facts. Look, you want to dig deep and get facts and truly understand the nature of the problem and all of its possible solutions. See, do the analysis and let the facts do the talking instead of just your gut instincts. Now look, your gut instincts are important, but if you want to move forward and you want to not be wrong about something, you're going to have to let the facts drive you and then adjust your thought process based on what the facts are showing you. You need to sit down and really figure it out based off the facts. The number 5 thing is keep the simple solution. Any solution you come up with is going to be implemented probably by somebody else or with the help of more than one person. So you want to take out Occam's razor and have a solution that's going to be the simplest and most effective way to execute. A lot of times that means coming up with the 80 or 90% solution and not letting the 100% solution or the perfect be the enemy of the get the job done. So you want to have your solution simple enough to be executable, to be understood and carried out by someone else, but hitting the results you want. Which brings us to the number 5 step. Don't reinvent the wheel. What's tried and true and works is a good thing to re-implement. Yeah, you're clever, you're a smart person, but you want to solve a problem in a way that's going to make sense and be executable, especially if it has a proven track record to work. So guys, if you're coming up with a solution and someone else has had a very similar problem and they were able to solve it, put your ego aside and use their solution. Make sure it works, make sure it's in line with your values, and make sure that it is something that can easily be executed by you and whoever's going to do it. Don't reinvent the wheel. Here's a number 7 thing, and it is gain momentum in problem solving. As I mentioned before, as a leader, you're going to be solving a bunch of problems, constantly solving problems. So in most situations, you're going to come in, businesses or even whatever you're doing, there are going to be multiple problems. And you're going to want to solve them as many as you can, as easily as you can. Usually those are called the low-hanging fruit. You want to have the easy problem solved first and fast, because that'll build problem-solving momentum, and you can show progress, and that'll build confidence in everybody you're working with. And the last thing I want you to consider is consider time. So when it comes to any solution, you want to ensure that you do the first things first. Also ensure that the solution can be implemented in a reasonable amount of time. Solutions that take so long that any possible benefit, it will be erased or the whole company will be lost, so that momentum doesn't die as you're working through solving problems. And like I said, that's part of getting it done in a timely manner. Figure out how to get it done, figure out the solutions that's gonna get you to the 80–90% solution that solves the problem, and then execute it. All right, guys, like I said before, problem solving is pretty much the job of leaders. You're gonna have to solve problems every day, and that's gonna all be wrapped up in all those other tasks that makes a good leader a good leader. So make sure you have a plan to solve problems and consider these things I talked about. Make sure you understand the problem, make sure you root cause it, have a hypothesis you're working from, update that information, get to your 90% solution, and then get it done. All these things are ways you can solve problems. Like I said, in your life for business, if you're a young guy getting ready to go to college and trying to figure out how to solve it, if you're just having things come up in your life that sometimes seem overwhelming, this problem solving outline I just gave you can help you solve it. Thanks for stopping by the Legacy Gentleman channel. If you found something useful in this video about problem solving, please like the video, share it with somebody. And if you want to develop the works, skills, and values that'll be admired and desired 1,000 years from now, then subscribe to this channel, because that's what we're doing here. So until next time, go be legendary.